Don't judge a book by its cover. We have all heard this. If you're old enough, like I am, you probably heard this from your mother or your father. That's the topic that we'll discuss today on the High IQ Genius podcast, where knowledge is power. Now, let's talk about a few things that recently happened, and then we're going to dive right into why it's so important that you do not judge a book by its cover, or don't judge a person by what you see. We recently returned, my wife and I, from our second visit to the White House. And we were fortunate enough to spend Christmas at the White House as a guest, and we were invited back again for my wife's birthday. So you'll find that we've posted some amazing pictures. We've posted a lot of short videos, and we were also VIP guests at the #1 hotel in Washington, D.C. It's called The Willard. And for anyone that has been to Washington, D.C., The Willard is called the Residence of Presidents. And you'll see some interesting videos and some interesting pictures of our birthday celebration there with my wife. And let me be clear. I'm learning some of this technology. So I don't consider myself an expert at doing videos for YouTube or posting them. So I'm learning as I go. You know, I always say that even though I have a high genius level IQ, and I'm a life member of Mensa, and also a member of Intertel, which means I've tested in the top 1% of the most intelligent people on Earth, I am a complete novice when it comes to technology. And technology is changing rapidly. So please, thank you so much for being patient with me as I improve the podcast, improve the quality of what we present, and learn from you on how to be and make more appealing videos. So let's dive right in. How many times have you seen something in life or met someone in life, and within the first 15 or 20 seconds, you've already decided what your opinion of that person will be? In fact, I said to my wife recently, when somebody cares about you, they will always care about you, no matter what. And when somebody doesn't care about you, it's likely they'll never care about you, no matter what. So we love to go shopping at craft stores, Goodwill, consignment shops. It's a hobby that we truly enjoy. And we love to find the occasional treasure if we're lucky enough. So this story starts off at Goodwill. And as we're at Goodwill, I'm walking down the aisles, and what do I see? This. Is this the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life? It is absolutely hideous. And I walked by it and I stopped in my tracks and I thought, that poor, whatever it is just terrible. It's just hideous. and I walked by it. And then about 5 minutes later, I found myself going back to it. It was so atrocious that I came back and looked at it a second time to make sure that it was as ugly as I thought the first time. And lo and behold, it was still hideous. So we continued with our shopping and we left for the day. And I went back home. And that night, as I laid in bed, for some reason, I couldn't get it out of my mind. So I posted a picture on Facebook, and it received thousands and thousands of views. And I told my wife, you know what? Next time we go back to Goodwill, if it's still there, I'll buy it. Just to have it. So we waited about 3 weeks, maybe it was 4 weeks. We went back to Goodwill. I was walking down the same aisle. And as I walked down that aisle, my heart was beating in anticipation. And lo and behold, the ugly dish was still there, sitting all by its lonesome in the exact same position that it was in before. No one had touched the dish even for a moment. And my heart was overfilled with joy. And I said to myself, you know, that piece is a lot like me. People often judge me just by what they see, or maybe what they hear. But I picked up the dish and I held it in my hands. It's quite heavy. And then I turned it around. What a beautiful, vibrant, purple glass masterpiece this is. Can you believe that something so ugly on this side could be so beautiful on the inside? Well, I keep this in my house every day where I can see it, because it reminds me not to judge a book by its cover, because oftentimes there's something very beautiful inside. In fact, I've had thousands and thousands of views on Facebook on this particular art piece because people are fascinated with both its beauty and its ugliness. Maybe it's the contrast. I don't know. But I wanted to share that with you today because as we go through life, unfortunately, we see and judge other people every day. Going forward, maybe this will remind you that there is beauty in all people. We're all born perfect, and we don't grow up to be ugly. We learn it. So thank you so much again for joining me on this episode of The High IQ Genius. Every day is a learning experience. And the journey that we're on together, I hope, will find you happy, joyful, and in good spirits. At the end of the day, my goal is for you to find your happiness and your joy, as well as me finding it with you. Be the best you can be happy, and remember at the end of the day, it's you against the world, and I'm betting on you. Thank you.